I'm so sick of this constant surveillance. You...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, you have muzzled me to the point where I can't carry on a conversation with other parents. I barely relate to people anymore.
You were relating to him, weren't you?
What do you not see? I mean, do you think I'd be even remotely inclined to start something up with anyone, given the relationship we have? All I want is to get through the day. That's what I think about, just get through the day.
How did you first come to be involved with this film?
It was submitted to me through the agency, and I read it, and after the agent said, this is really an interesting, odd piece. Very small film, but it's right up your alley because it has a very complex character at the heart of it. And okay, and I read it, and at first I was a little dismayed by it because he's rather selfish and indulgent. And I don't know, I mean, I think Walter White had some of those qualities as well, and I thought, I don't know if I should do that or not, but I kept coming back around to it because of the honesty of the piece. I think he's very relatable. I know that I have felt what Howard Wakefield has felt as well, that I just wanted to slow life down a little bit. I just want to be more in control of my time and not be so inundated with details and responsibilities and new technology and calling me and text me and your brain could be rattled. And I think he just wants to, God, he hasn't been able to read a book for enjoyment in so long. Go for a walk, look at a cloud, just simple things that bring us joy as human beings. So I completely understand his desire to just push away for a little while. But what happens to Howard is that he pushes a little too far and he can't find a way to get back into his life. It's a very, very interesting sociological and also psychological tale.
Yeah, he is quite a complex character. There's obviously a lot going on under the surface. How much input did you have on that side of things? Was it all in the script, or?
Oh, a good working condition is that the actor and the writer and director are all involved, and you become colleagues and tell the story together. I think, but it's like building a house. The architect can design that house, but can't necessarily swing a hammer. So you need everyone to be able to, the supplier of the goods, the person who can construct it, the person who has the design. So we're all working in unison together to build this structure. And that's what we were able to do. Now, in this case, Robin Swycord was the writer as well as the director, and she and I worked together extremely well. And he listened, and I had my input, and there's some things that I brought to it that weren't in the script, and other things that were so well detailed and designed that you don't want to mess with it. It's beautiful, and by and large, it was all there. And you just add little personal nuances or something that you bring from your own personal experience that hopefully enriches the entire story.
Oh my God, Ben Jacobs. Oh, yes. You dog. Coffee, cookies, come on in. Oh, he's gonna need some whitener for this coffee, Diana.
Excuse me, you don't have any soy milk, do you?
Of course she's got soy milk. She's got everything. Please, Ben, please tell her about your tragic lactose intolerance. All the bloating and flatulence. Aha. A little pro bono work on behalf of the firm. How nice of you. I'm impressed with my attorney, Bernie. I'm impressed with his influential friends. He's got very big connections, and I follow his directions. You know, I never used to sing. I think that's worth noting.
It's funny you mentioned the Walter White character, because I did kind of see some parallels there, in the sense that I found myself as a viewer kind of, sometimes you're sympathising with him because he's obviously not a well man, but then sometimes you're quite angry at him for what he's doing to his family. Do you find yourself kind of drawn to those kind of characters where the line between being a good person or a bad person isn't quite as easily defined?
I do. I am attracted to complex characters and conflicted characters. With Walter White or Howard Wakefield or Lyndon Johnson, a president, or Dalton Trumbo, I believe that they're honest men, in that they are they have good characteristics and bad. They have foibles, they have strengths, they have weaknesses. They're filled with nobility and hubris. We all have that capability as human beings to be all those things. Gone are the days when the guy wears the white hat and makes all the right decisions, and it's like, it's just not believable. That is fantasy. So too is the guy who wears the black hat. Is not all bad. That too is fantasy. Where's the balance? Can a bad character also go home and be loving and gentle to his baby? That's more interesting to me than anything. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have that split personality. I think it's plausible. And I think that's what is so attractive, not just to Wakefield, but other stories that have that complexity built in.
Do I ever worry that someone might recognize me on one of these expeditions to town? Diana, coming home early from the Cape. She could show up any moment. Oh, believe me, I can knock out countless variations. It's endlessly entertaining.
We shot it in 20 days.
Right.
I lost a lot of weight in order to do it, and rightfully so. It was right for the character, and it felt good to do that. There was a lot of uncomfortableness. I mean, there were 3 different size beards and hair pieces, and to apply them, it's a lot of glue and a lot of alcohol to take them off and then put the next one on. And so every day was different sizes depending on what scene we're shooting, and we're shooting quickly. So it was, you take some endurance, but I'm an actor for a living. That's the bottom line, is that I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. So when you can endure some discomfort, but the trade-off is that you get to tell stories for a living. There are people in life who actually work for a living, and they're the ones who need the break.
Sure. So just finally then, what have you got coming up next? What are you working on after this?
In the UK here, I'm very excited about a show called Electric Dreams, which comes on Channel 4 in September. It's an anthology series based on the works of Philip K. Dick. So every episode is different. Really cool. I'm also going to be back in London later this year to be on stage at the National. I'm doing a play called Network, and I'll be there from November to the end of March. So come see me.
I never left my family. I left myself. Unshackled, I'll become the Howard Wakefield I was meant to be.